There's so many things Dungeon Masters have to do. It's really a jack-of-all-trade role in the tabletop roleplay game community. World building, descriptions, creating challenges, creating the plot, babysitting, and the list goes on and on. But none of these things really matter if you don't have the most important thing down. The thing that drives us forward, that pushes us, that motivates us. It's everything. Excitement. And because of that, anyone can do the role. There's so many types of Dungeon Masters, and it can be easy to get bogged down into thinking you have to play a certain way, just because some YouTube video said so, or your favorite Dungeons & Dragons show does it a certain way. But their ways don't matter if it doesn't excite you. And I know I might be biased because I get excited a lot, but I didn't think I always wanted to be a DM. To be honest, I just became one because I had two people I wanted to play with in my life, and I tried and tried, but couldn't find someone to DM for us. So I bit the bullet and decided to be one. I thought it was going to be so much work, that it was going to be a complete drag a lot of the time. But the necessary evil I'd have to put up with to play with the important people in my life. I didn't know that I was going to fall in love with the role. Like creating rules for my worlds, and finally getting to make NPCs that exist in my world instead of someone else's, and planning my first homebrew campaign, and taking all my passions and things I love from other worlds and mashing them together would be so fun. I enjoy creating systems and learning new things. And on that topic, what am I drawing today? I'm drawing two Magman brothers. One is going to run a pawn shop for my Fireplane campaign, while the other goes out on adventures looking for these items that they sell in the pawn shop, often spotted out on adventures looking for loot. If you love elemental planes, or just love all the niche little species in Dungeons & Dragons that don't get nearly enough love, check out my Patreon, full of tokens, species, maps, loads of NPCs, and occasionally places that I'm creating for my world and my campaign that takes place in the Fire and Earth planes. Link in description. So these things I started doing stopped feeling like work, but were something I looked forward to. Sure, some things I'm not that passionate about, and you might be thinking, personally I'm not excited about any of these duties. But that's the thing. You get to choose what you focus on. In art, there are fundamentals, and most of what is considered a style is just choices of what fundamentals our brain sticks to. And I believe it's the same for Dungeons & Dragons. There aren't rules about what needs to be in your game, or what you should focus on. If you don't like world building, that's okay, you don't have to. Nothing is set in stone on what you need to do. Just find what you love, what you want to do, what motivates you. Things you want to talk about and share, and focus in on them. Be aware of what you're passionate about and gear your campaign towards it, because it shows in your enjoyment and motivation to keep going. Even your players sometimes notice. I asked a couple of my players what they thought was one of my best strengths and weaknesses as a DM. And it sounds silly, but they told me one of the things they love is how passionate I get about things. And the other things they told me they loved from the campaign were all things that I had gotten extremely passionate about. Your efforts show, and you'll just have more energy to put effort into things you care deeply about. Now, I'm gonna be honest here for a moment, and I have the secret in being a Dungeon Master. The hardest part isn't putting the work in. It isn't doing the things you're worst at, or improving your weaknesses. It's not being able to talk to your players who are your friends about the crazy cool things you are super excited about, because you don't want to spoil the campaign. And I kind of think that it should be almost everyone's problem as a DM. At least everyone that plays with their friends. And yeah, it kind of sucks. But that's the price we pay to being a DM. But I'd love to hear what excites Dungeon Masters and even players out there. What are you looking forward to every time you go play this fantastic hobby? And if you liked this video, maybe check out this one. Have an amazing day.